anyone 15662 involved in Fortnite that will figure out. They changed the lights. Oh, nice. I think this is for save the world. Movement, jumping, game rules, government, ice, dragon, cat, trap, job loss and lobby, home base, save the world, game war, other. Like, water play, communicating abuse, offensive meaning, linked up with enemies, harassment, abusive gameplay, threatening me or someone else, annoying me, trying to sell something using inappropriate language, cheating and hacking, AFK, ignoring objectives, ignoring objectives is what saves the world, breaks down. And when you say something else, they don't fix it. Nothing new in graphics. Their service. Let's just try to put what you're required to daily custom. Location domain. Find it, post katanas. Oh. Hey, who's watching? Say me. You're watching. Doomsday device in lobby. I don't want copyright. I will install it. License. Use all. Now with the countdown. Who's playing? In launcher, updated Fortnite. Playing. This is Arabic. In lobby. Playing creative. Don't allow me to go. What's happening to the servers? Come on, let me join again. What? Okay, hey, brother. Come on, let's play. Just I want to play. Online 27 minutes ago. Online 1 hour ago. Online 3 hours ago. Online 3 hours ago. 3 hours ago. 14 hours ago. 16 hours ago. 4 weeks ago. Offline. Oh my god. Okay. You don't want solo? Okay. We're gonna play random duels. Let's see what happens. Oh my brother. I'm gonna play with my brother. Hey, yes, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Let's play duo.
Okay.
What did you just
Wish.
Nothing. I hope arena works. Yeah, solos are broken.
Huh?
Solo is broken.
Wallah?
Yes,
Wait.
I can't play solo.
خلي لك جوز عادي. حتى دوس بروكن عاد لحظة خل نجرب يوروب خل نجرب يوروب إذا ما يصير مو نسوي لا يا دخل. كيف؟
ورقل جرب فيه سكواد.
سكواد؟ يلا. انا سويت يوروب. ها؟
يس.
صح؟
اوه
يمكن ميداليست خربان او سولو دوس خربانين.
Let's play with squads.
Yeah. Winning squad is easy. Items could fall in as a VR.
اوكي. Dude, that is fake. I'm in the box. Oh my god.
لازم. يلا.
Come on.
ولا شيء، ما في ولا شيء. كل شيء نفس الشيء. أنا معك رايح. هم أكيد يعرفونا. يعني نحن نعرف. هم يقولوا وات؟ دراجون 9 انفجر راسي.
يا ربي
وين زمان ما لعبنا بينج انفجار عالمي. أجل. الله.
هذاك صديقنا
هذاك وينه؟ اللي شرد؟ أعتقد شرد. أوكي لما عندنا ستيلي سوين اللي مكتوب عليهم نو سويت انشورنس. هذا يكون فلوت يعني هذا سيزن 3. اصبر هي سيزن 3 يعني يكون مدران واتر سيزن اوشن سيزن. قال
تحت هو تحت داخل البيت. بقول ما بدخل اللي
عندي واحد. قتلته
لا تعال.
بس المربع
وين
أصدقائه موجودين.
بس واحدة في الستين. لازم نروح زون.
هو قاعد يروح هذا دايركشن 210 يمكن هذا كل جهة يكون أصدقائه.
بس تحتاج كذا.
اوكي عشان جيم شانل.
جيم شانل؟ اوكي.
لو كوكولينش بدل فيش hello.
Yeah, gotta be honest, I thought it was Team Rumble, so I didn't even realise, like, it was normal squads.
Guys, have you noticed solos and duos are broken?
I had no clue. I've just been fishing.
Have you noticed anything new?
Nope.
Me too.
Apart from the massive explosion.
Yeah.
Have you seen the massive explosion?
Wait, what's massive explosion?
Doesn't matter. You'll find out soon.
Alright,
I think.
I hope. Alright, let's go somewhere to the safe zone. Come on, everyone.
There is someone.
Oh my god, no.
No.
Yup. Alright. Let's go. Come on, guys.
Someone in helicopter. Never mind.
It's over there. Yes, no.
I'll go for the scatter.
Guys, let's take the chopper.
Down. Let's go into the water. Let's go. Get reboot ka. Let's down. To the water. Down. Run. Let's go take our friend reboot ka. Okay, man.
Alright.
Damaged one.
Guys, you fight them, I'm gonna take the reboot card. Cover me fast. No, you guys don't grab me.
Oh.
Hold on, I'm gonna take the our first reboot card. Alright, I'm coming.
There are trials. Grenade them.
Thank you, brother. Oh my god. What a mess. Alright, let's try getting back into Middle East server. Back to lobby. Alright, Middle East.
Okay. Wait, let's try those. In Europe.
No, Middle East, Middle East.
Okay.
Did you do?
Wait,
Okay.
I did. Ready up. Okay.
Wait, what?
Let's try again. One more time.
Okay. Wait just 1 minute. I'm
Okay.
fixing my Fortnite bug lag glitch. Okay, now let's try. Looks like the buttons are set out. Oh,
Let's try Europe now. Ready up.
ready.
Okay.
Last game we had very bad squad. One guy was going
Yeah.
one guy was good.
Oh, Middle East is broken.
Does that mean that Middle East has 1,000 people?
عرفت نسوي feedback.
صح ايوه بعد
Okay. نكتب Middle East is broken. أول شيء subject server Middle East is broken نكتب.
بعد الجيم ما بعد feedback لا
Middle Someone on me?
I'm coming
Ah.
No, wait, I'm coming soon. I'm coming. Let me just finish me. I didn't know that he was there. Okay, now.
He is one shot. I damaged him.
Okay, I'm gonna trick him. Okay. Okay. Come on! He is blind. Oh, your reboot card. Look. No, from upstairs. Oh my god, his friend is coming. I can hear him. Oh my god. He doesn't have.
No. Save it for me. Save it for me.
Oh my god, 2 people. What? No. I'm gonna use method. I'm gonna revive my friend, and I'm gonna one-shot him, and then I'm gonna kill him.
قال في زي يقوم صديقه.
I know. Okay, here. Okay, I'm gonna use grenade. That's why?
Both of them are no.
How did that guy do it?
بكر يوم أول مرة جابوا كذا يوم يعني خلوها هذا يوم تسوي مارك يبين في يعني يعني ما في خريطة بس بالله.
Full power. I see him. I have mini for you, brother.
أو هناك
mini for you. Wait, that sounds good. Are you ready to fight?
Yeah.
So let's go.
Let's go fight.
People, where are you? Someone. Help.
Where?
Okay, damage him. He's white.
Okay, nice. Someone. Oh no, I will die. Brother. He is white. No. I damaged him.
My pump is broken.
I need my check. Oi. انت خذ هذا. خرفايت كان.
هذاك اول شخص جاب جنبتي وحطهم مليون مره وانا عند الضحاك.
هاي جمع موارد. نايس.
ما خسر مثل
صح؟
بالغلط.
اوكي.
عندي جلتش وانا كل عندي
ها؟
عندي فوق هناك مكتوب يعني بينه نظرة.
اوكي.
اوكي خلينا نجربنا. جو بوي.
هذا كان زمان بس 100 موارد 100.
ايوه
يلا الحين قارب.
قوي والحد يجمع 300 او 900 موارد حتى ما يتخبط يسوي 90% وكذاك.
ندور ناس في الليزي.
ليه يد من ساعة كان فتح المؤسسين وما كان عندي خبر. I went to visit one of
ده
them.
ناس تشتري؟
Yeah. يد
اه.
لقيت دخلت. Is this a giveaway? Is this a giveaway? I guess I'll go then بعد طلع. هنا ما رديت. ما عندي خبر. ما شفت رسالة سويت شنو؟ كان
اه طلعت ريبوت.
Oh my god. جد صبرها بعيد. جد
عادي.
صبر بعيد. هذا غلط. صبر غلط. جد لا.
اخ 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 اخ. عادي بليز
انا
بليز
بعيد. اوكي.
بليز.
بضربه من بعيد عادي. وين هذه الفكرة؟ يا اشجار واقف قدامي. ابو الغلط وصلت.
دراب سكاي.
استغفر الله. بقتله. وين؟ اوكي كنت وين راح؟ اوكي هو. لا خليك تضرب.
صديقه شرد.
راح اقتلهم. تعالوا. بقوي بالي ايم.
اعطيهم بس سي4.
صح ايوه. لا.
اعطيهم سي4.
يا موارد خفيف.
عشان كده كلام كل دفع موارد.
اجل صعب واجد. ليش كلهم شخص اللي بار وين صعب خفيف. ليش شخص اللي بار بوش حبيبي.
عارف؟ انا تو رايح هذا العب كمبيوتر.
قصدك لابتوب.
ايوه
اوكي
يلا
يلا.
عارف؟ ما يصير العب لابتوب اقصد كمبيوتر مالك؟
لا انا جالس العب.
اه صحيح.
يلا.
يلا
How to fix the thumb button. Let's see if we can fix it. Because I need it. How to use left click with thumb button. Can't use thumb button with the left click. some button not working.
Hey everybody, I just fixed a problem that I was having with my Corsair Harpoon RGB mouse, and I figured if I made a video, I can help you guys out. So the problem I was having was after the most recent update, it's the end of September 2018 by the way, there was a problem with the side mouse buttons not working. And so I did some investigation and got to a couple forums, and essentially I figured out that when IQ is closed, there's no problems and my forward and back buttons work in Chrome and in the games. But if IQ is running, it doesn't. So here's how you fix it. Alright, you're going to open up IQ. Generally you're going to be at the home, and so navigate to the mouse page. Go to Actions. You're going to click plus. You're going to hit forward. Go to Advanced Settings, retain original key output. So now your forward button will work. Add another action.
Hey, how's it going everybody? It's your pal Mega Snoop bringing you another Fortnite friendship video. I don't know why I called it that, but it's a friendship video now because we're all friends here, and you know what friends do? They help each other by giving each other helpful tips and tricks and secrets and stuff, and so that's what we're doing today. And today I'm bringing you a video about some helpful tips, such as how to build faster and better. Sam Myth, who is arguably one of the best builders in the world, so you're not gonna be too far off with this one. And what Myth uses is he uses the bottom row of his keyboard for his building. He uses Z for wall, X for floor,
This one's my wall. Ramp, wall, ramp, wall, ramp, wall. And then the mouse wheel, I click the mouse wheel, not down, I click it, I side click it to the left. That's my platform. And those are all my mouse keybinds.
Floor, and C for ramp. And so you'll have to slightly take your hands off of WASD in order to do these, but because they're just simply a fraction of an inch away, it does make building a lot easier. Also, big pointer here. Change your edit button from G to F. Just trust me on this one. It's closer, it's easier, and you probably don't use F for repair as much as you think you do. F for edit, G for repair. Now we're gonna move on to scenario 2, which I'm guessing most of you guys have. You have a gaming mouse and keyboard, but it's not necessarily one of those high-tech 800 button ones. It probably looks something like this. You've got your regular clicks, your middle mouse, and then 2 buttons on the side. Now most gaming mice only have these 2 buttons on the side. And this is actually something that I recommend to most people because most people that I talk to have this type of mouse. So this is what you're gonna do. With your 2 buttons on the side, you're gonna have one of them be your wall button, and one of them be your ramp button, and then you're gonna have your middle mouse button be your floor button. And that way the 3 major building components are just on your right hand, and you don't need to take your fingers off of WASD at all. And that way you can aim, move, shoot, and jump all while building. And in my opinion, this is probably one of the best setups that if you want to be a quick, efficient builder, this is the way to go. And then we have scenario 3, which is what I have. You have one of these mice that has just a million buttons on it. And in which case, this is just down to your preference. Obviously, try to get as much as you can on those buttons. I have all of my building buttons, my traps, and the ability to swap
system aim is just so important if you want to see successful results in this game. With some weapons, even a single shot can be what determines the outcome of a fight. And of course, nobody wants to be that guy that chokes by missing a vital shot. What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Stan, back with another video. This time, all about the fundamentals of aiming that you need to land more shots in Fortnite. I'll be explaining a lot of the theories behind aiming in Fortnite and how using that information can lead to more effective shots. Keep in mind that along with every other mechanic, just knowing the theory isn't enough. You need to be able to apply that information so that you can learn through practice. Yes, even if you know every aiming technique and how to properly use every weapon, you'd still need to regularly train your mechanics in order to see results. So just try to keep that in mind as we start the video. If you're looking to take your gameplay to the next level, I recommend that you guys check out InstaPro, where we have live 24/7 coaching as its own range. This is especially true after the combat shotgun got vaulted. Players were used to that weapon being so useful at longer ranges that they're still treating the pump almost like it. But the pump shotgun has a much shorter effective range in the combat. You need to be really close to your opponent, like within 3 tiles distance, if you want to land a solid hit. If you're farther away than that, the damage really starts to fall off. It's usually better to start firing with a rifle or SMG instead of swapping to them after a pump shot. The damage you do with the shotgun at those greater distances just isn't worth it when you factor in the time it takes to swap weapons. You can even use the pump's effective range to your advantage when in sticky situations. Let's say you take a chunk of damage in a build fight and now you're on low health. By boxing up, any opposing players on the offensive will be forced into a very close range if they want to finish the kill. Then all it can take is a quick edit or two and some nice pump shots to quickly turn the fight in your favor. This is why so many players nowadays default to boxing up when things go wrong instead of trying to build their way out of it. The pump is just so good at equalizing situations where one player has less health than the other. Next, let's talk about when to utilize first shot accuracy and when to just spray instead. First, you normally only use first shot accuracy engaging players at long distances. On some of the more bloom-heavy weapons like the heavy or suppressed assault rifles, you want to try tapping to maintain first shot accuracy at these distances. Both of their blooms become pretty bad once you fire around 4 or 5 shots, at which point you'll just start missing everything. At closer ranges, just like with several tiles, it's not as necessary to rely on, and you can still be pretty accurate shooting without it. Compared to those weapons, the regular assault rifle is much more accurate while being sprayed, even at longer distances. If you had nearly perfect aim, using first shot accuracy would of course be better, but for most of us, spraying outputs more bullets and can potentially lead to more.
Hey guys, so for this video, I'm gonna showcase a few helpful tricks to boost your FPS and reduce your input lag. Ever since the start of Chapter 2 Season 2, frames are at an all-time low and people are frustrated. I think it has a lot to do with the new physics system Epic recently moved Fortnite over to, as well as the fact there's now a ton of NPCs at all of the new locations. Either way, the game does not feel good. 8700, and I've actually found a way to make my building and editing way more responsive than in past seasons. So as per usual, sit back, relax, and pay attention, because this is my FPS boost guide for Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 2. The first and maybe the most helpful thing I've done to reduce stutters is to re-enable DirectX version 12. I bet a lot of you guys didn't know that DX12 was actually disabled for a large portion of last season. By that, I mean even when you selected it through the in-game settings, Fortnite would keep you on DX11 anyways. All they said about it was that they gained some valuable info from it and are going to make some improvements in order to re-enable it in early 2020. Well, guess what? Early 2020 is now, and the new and improved DX12 is available to use. The two things you have to do before you apply it though are to first, make sure your Windows version is up to date. You can check by going to your settings, update and security, then Windows Update. Look at the top and it will tell you if you're all up to date or not. Then the second thing is to make sure your Nvidia or AMD drivers are up to date as well. If they're not, obviously download the newest ones, since Epic did make DX12 only work on Windows version 1607 or newer. Anyways, once you do that, you can go into your Fortnite settings, scroll down to the bottom, and turn DX12 on. A prompt should pop up telling you to restart your game, so do that and you're good to go. Now, if you're wondering what DX12 is and what it actually does, it's basically a Microsoft API that helps developers make their games look better better and run smoother. According to Epic Games themselves, it delivers better CPU performance and allows for the distribution of rendering jobs across multiple cores. This results in players with higher end GPUs getting a higher and steadier frame rate. Alright, but does it actually work? In my case, yes, it actually helps out a lot. When I had it enabled and I was not recording, I got around 500 FPS in creative, hashtag weird flex but okay, while with DX11, my frames ranged anywhere from 300 and 250 all the way up to 550. Then when I did record, you could see my frames weren't as insane on DX12. Again though, DX11 had higher maximum frames and lower minimum frames, meaning DX12 was steadier and more stable, which is what we want. Gameplay wise, I actually did feel a big difference in input lag when I switched back to DX11. My build seemed to place a lot slower and my edits were definitely not as crisp. That's why my advice is to try both of them out and see which suits your PC the best. Some of you guys will get better frames on DX11 and some of you, like me, will get better frames on DX12. It all depends on your specific PC and your specific graphics card. Just play around with DX11 and DX12 and let me know which one you end up using along with your specific graphics card. Last few notes on DX12 is that it can cause your game to crash when you alt tab out of it. I'm a weirdo who never really tabs out, so it didn't bother me too much. Also, if you notice your game flickering or your builds look like mobile, that's completely normal and is not a bug or anything like that. It should only last for a few seconds, and that's because that's how DX12 actually works. All of that flickering is the program itself rendering out different areas and objects on the map. This way it can render them faster the next time it sees them, and it doesn't impact your performance as much. Finally, you should be aware that DX12 is not available for every single graphics card. It is available for most, and you can just look up if your own card is supported by it, as well as a big list of which cards it supports. But for those of you with really old 'Old computers like 2012 type stuff, you may not be in luck. The next thing that's helped me out, more specifically to reduce my input lag, is to utilize a program called timer resolution. I actually didn't hear about this until I saw Liquid Stretch make a tweet about it, where he trollingly accused Kanata of abusing it to take walls. Kanata did say he used it in the past, and I know for a fact Tfue currently uses it since I saw it open while he tried to change his res last week. Regardless, after looking more into it and seeing everyone in the replies of Stretch's tweet saying it actually helped out a lot, you know I had to share it in this video. What you want to do is type timer resolution into Google and go to the second website, which should be soft112.com. The site should look like this, and the download should be published by a guy named Lucas Hale on October 7th. Go and press the green download link at the bottom, and then press the green zip button at the top. One more page should pop up that says it finished scanning the file, so again click the green button and the file should finally download. Once the download completes, drag it onto your desktop, right click on it, and click extract here. If you do not have an option for that, it means you don't have a zip file processor like WinRAR, so you will have to download that as well. Back to the trick, you can then open it up and click the maximum button to make the program work at its full effectiveness. As you can see, the current resolution went from almost a full millisecond to about a half a millisecond, meaning you've cut the default Windows latency and input lag you're all used to in half, resulting in much more responsive and snappier gameplay. I've also heard it can boost your FPS depending on how butt cheeks your machine is, but this is mainly aimed at decreasing your PC's response time. Oh, and I almost forgot. Make sure you do not close out of the timer resolution application while you play. It needs to be open and running as you play Fortnite, or else none of the changes will be applied. So just minimize it and keep it in the background. Lastly, when you're done gaming, just click default to make the timer resolution.
I am doing some good stuff in Fortnite. I was just waiting.
go back to what it said before, and you're then okay to close out of the program. Moving on, and the next trick is to disable your full screen optimizations, which I learned from the wizard Polaric. To do it, go into your file explorer and click on whichever drive your Fortnite is stored on. Mine happens to be my C drive. Then go to the Epic Games folder, Fortnite, Fortnite Game, Binaries, and Win64. Scroll down and look for these 4 files that have the Fortnite logo next to them. There should be 3 shipping ones and then one that says launcher. For each, right click, go down to properties, compatibility at the top, and check the box that says disable full screen optimizations. After that, click the change high DPI settings option and select override high DPI scaling behavior and make sure the scaling is performed by the application. Apply that and remember to do it for the 3.
do this. faster than before. Goodbye, dude.